Hello and welcome to Cull the Weak, the show where I decide what to sell and what to keep by looking at a brand new deck each week, playing a few games, and then making the final decision. I am your host, Brobnar89. Let's get right into it here. This week, my new deck is Governor VcVahon. Love that name. Beautiful. We've got Dis, Mars, and Untamed. Dis looks like a control focus house. We've got 2 Ember Imps, 2 Succubus, we've got a Toxin, and we've got a Snudge. So quite a bit of hand control here. These are all creatures that are very effective, but very low power. So I hope to find some taunting in this deck elsewhere that will help keep them nice and safe. Looking over at Mars, we got a battle fleet. That's always useful. Can definitely use the library to make that a little bit more effective. Deep Probe, so this deck definitely wants to do some hand control. Ether Spider, really nice. Again, want to have some taunting out on the board to help make that Ether Spider a little bit safer. Double Mind Warper is the most, together with the Ether Spider, is the most Amber control that we see so far in this deck. A few more Mars creatures, nothing that does any taunting. Untamed. Cooperative hunting should be really effective with the number of creatures this deck has. We have a Full Moon, a Key Charge, and 2 Hunting Witches. That's great. You can definitely easily get enough Amber in one turn to drop that Key Charge right away. So I like the burst in the Untamed we see here with the Key Charge. I like the control in Dis. Overall, I'm a bit worried about Amber control. Not a ton of Amber control here, and it's all kind of situational, right? You can't capture with the Drumble unless your opponent has 7. You can't take away your opponent's Amber with the Ether Spider. You need the Mind Warper already on the board for it to be effective. So, a lot of potential for Amber control, but it's just very situational. I'm going to go ahead and jump into my 2 games and come back for the 3rd game to see if Governor VcVahon can govern its way to victory and into my heart. Well, the first 2 games did not go so well. As predicted, the lack of Amber control was really inhibiting. My opponent was able to generate quite a bit of Amber both times, and there was not really much I could do about it. I did have a good amount of success with the burst in Untamed, but it was not enough to make up for the lack of Amber control. The Disc control was definitely useful, but without any way of keeping those small control creatures safe, they're not as effective as I would have hoped. Let's go ahead and see if I have more success in my 3rd and final game. Alright, let's get right into it here. Siaka has the first turn. Many thanks once again to Siaka for giving me my game. Let's take a look at his deck. She who fully votes for Pixie Dust. Worlds Collide, Brobnar Star Alliance, and Untamed. Got a Maverick Imperium in his Brobnar house, so that's interesting. Couple of the Brobnar creatures there, not very many. Only 4. Not sure what Brobnar is trying to do. Star Alliance has quite a few creatures, including a Val, 3 imprinted Murmooks. Wow, he could have a very cheap key here, but no key cheat. So I at least get a chance to deny him a cheap key. Song of the Wild, but not too many creatures. Well, there's some punctuated equilibrium, so I'm going to need to look out for that. Make sure that I don't hang on to any cards for too long. I think I'll keep this hand. I like that Dis start. 2 Succubus and a Mind Barb. Looking pretty good. Having Key Charge this early is unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world. Alright, Siaka plays Mega Calphine for his first turn. That's unfortunate. He's going to be able to get rid of one of my Succubi probably pretty soon. But no big deal. Mustic Mermook gets discarded here. That's a lucky hit with the Mind Barb. Going to keep one of my Succubus alive a little bit longer here. Siaka going Star Alliance. Playing down the Lang and the Walls. Walls not going to be bringing back any upgrades for him right now. Going to need to be careful about reaping with the Lang out. I think Untamed is the right call here. Try to get some better cards into my deck. I can at least exhaust his creatures. Slow him down a little bit for now. Get rid of that full key charge that's not doing anything for me now. And now I pull the full moon. Unfortunate, but that's okay. Couple of discs in the hand now. Probably looking at a disc turn on my next turn. If I still have the Succubus on the board. Oh, they're stunned. So that's not going to happen. The Flex gets dropped for nothing. Warrior's Refrain, stunning everything that's 3 power or less. Stiltkin comes down. Mars is the right play now. Get a few more cards out on the board. Set myself up for a disc turn on my next turn here. Mega Calphine. Fighting down my Succubus. Taking out the Mind Warper. Finishing off the other Succubus with the Stiltkin. Should have seen that coming. Alright, well I still think Dis is the right call here. I can put the Calphine back in the hand. It's already damaged, but it's going to be a whole turn before he's able to use it again. And since he just went Brobnar, hopefully it'll take up some space in his hand for now. It also gives me the opportunity to keep my little creatures a little bit safer from the Calphine. Not pulling any additional Untamed, which is really what I want right now. With the Full Moon and the Hunting Witch in hand, I'd like at least one more creature to get a nice big burst of Amber when I go Untamed. Of course, I only have 3 Untamed creatures left in my deck, so I'm not going to want to hold out for that for too long. Going Star Alliance is Siaka. Unstunning his creatures. Jericho comes down. Light of the Archons onto the Lang. Making her that much harder to kill. Zap's gonna take out my Bolter, which is unfortunate. I was thinking about using that to get rid of the Lang. So now the question is, do I go Mars or Dis? I can fight down the Lang and then reap with Toxin if I go Dis. Drumble, some of my only Amber control, is not going to do anything in that case. I can go Mars, take out the Walls, so he doesn't have a bunch of Star Alliance to reap with, and put down 2 Mars creatures. I could go Untamed and put myself into check. That might actually be the best call here. I always like the play where you put your opponent into check, just because you're forcing them to do something that maybe they didn't want to. The nice thing about that play too is it forces him to respond to my Hunting Witch. He's gonna have to get rid of it somehow. He's chosen Untamed. Unnatural selection. So I'm guessing he's gonna get rid of the Hunting Witch with this, unless he's got something else up his sleeve. Yeah, Hunting Witch is gone, and the Chief Engineer. Mab the Mad comes down and imprinted Murmook, putting Val into the middle of the battle line, and also putting Siaka into check. Medic's coming down off of Val's ability. Gonna ward the Val, and I get to forge. Now he's in check. I think the right move here is Mars and use the Mother Gun to get rid of the Murmook. That's gonna pull him off check, and then I am gonna be able to pull more cards. Pulling into 2 Ember Imps and the Schuler. So definitely going to want to almost certainly go Dis on my next turn. Hopefully he gets up to 7 or 8, even better, so I can steal 1 and then still use the Drumbull. That's kind of the problem with having my Drumbull being the only Amber control in this deck, is that with so many imprinted Murmooks, he's not really incentivized to get a whole ton of Amber. He's going for Brobnar. Stiltkin is going to fight down my Toxin. That's unfortunate. Using Nature's Call off of the Val play. What's he going to bounce? Since he doesn't have any Brobnar on the board, I'm assuming he's going to bounce my creatures? Maybe the Mars that I just played down. Probably gonna mix the houses though. Okay, so he goes for the Zookeeper, the Mind Warper, and the Snufflegator. Cowfiend comes down. And Overrun puts him up to 7. Well, Dis is pretty clearly my choice here. The question is what to do with the Tentacus. I think I used the opportunity to take out the Lang so that I can reap later. My other option would be to take out the Medic, but I can always do that with the Mother Gun a little bit more easily. Unfortunate, the Schuler, one of my very few Amber control cards, gonna get played for no value here. Yeah, I just don't think it's worth keeping it, unfortunately. I have drawn up to 3 Mars. So that's good. Oh, I should have spread these out a little bit better. The Cowfiend's going to be able to take out all this stuff. Yeah. Well, I'm glad I didn't hang on to that Schuler. Punctuated Equilibrium, making me drop all those Mars cards. That's alright. I drew into 3 more. Some action cards. Probably going to be a little bit more useful given the board state. So, gonna Mother Gun. And let's get rid of the Medic. That seems to make sense here. Battle Fleet. Hopefully gets me some more Mars. Got 1. Martians make bad allies. Alright, let's deep probe for... He's gone through almost his entire deck here, so let's see. Definitely know that I don't want to do Brobnar, because I remember that he doesn't have a lot of Brobnar creatures. Probably also don't want to do Star Alliance, because I see 7 Star Alliance between the discard and the board here. Untamed. I only am seeing 3 creatures. And I'm a little bit more scared of the Murmooks here, because they're going to make his keys cheaper. So I think we go with Untamed. Nice. Let's see, what did he have? Pariah Monkeys, so got rid of that. Engineer Wells. Murmook. Kirkar. Okay, so I had 2 either way. I got rid of the Murmook and the Monkeys instead of the Walls and the Kirkar. I'm okay with that. That seems pretty good. Definitely want to play the Phosphorus Stars and stun his board so he can't make use of it. Now the question is, do I purge Hunting Witch for 1 amber? I feel like no, because I have a pretty good chance of pulling the Murmook in my next draw, and I will definitely be able to recur something with the regrowth. So I'm going to be able to get amber off of it on my next turn, and there's no other benefit to it, so I'm just going to discard those. Okay, did not get the Murmook, but I can still use the regrowth here. Siaka is forging his first key here. Going for the Brobnar play, gonna unstun his Brobnar board. Walls comes down off of the Jericho. Barn Raising comes down. Calfiend's Brew is going to give Jericho some extra power. I think I am going to go ahead and go Dis here, just so that I can pick up the Murmook that I know is still in my draw, and have a chance to get a big burst in my on my untamed play next turn. Going for Brobnar once again is Siaka. Mog Hunter fighting Snudge, doing 2 damage to the Schuler with that extra ability there. Stiltkin going to finish off the Schuler. Calfiend Reaping. Imperium coming down, warding Calfiend. And the Mog Hunter. Well, Untamed is definitely the play. Go ahead and pull back my other Hunting Witch here. Get a big burst going. All the way up to 6. I don't know if I've reaped it all this game. I think almost all of my amber has come from playing creatures and action abilities. Alright, I have got 3 damage to do through my cooperative hunting here. Not super impressive. What do I want to get rid of here? So probably my best bet is to do 2 damage and then pop a ward on something. So take out the Stiltkin and then pop a ward. I don't think the Walls is worth it because he has more Brobnar on the board. So 2 onto the Stiltkin, and let's pop the ward on the Mega Calfiend here. And I'm in check. Let's see if he can keep me off it here. It seems like he also has fairly minimal amber control. Pulling into a good amount of Mars, including the deep probe again. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's in the discard before he flips here. So we know that there's not a lot of Brobnar. I see 4 Untamed plus 1 on the board. And as far as Star Alliance goes, there's 6 in the discard here. So he's more likely to pull into some Star Alliance. He's going Brobnar this turn. I wonder if he's even going to actually flip at this point. Calphine comes down. Flamethrower. Flamethrower does a damage to all of my creatures. Mega Calphine is going to finish them off. Mog Hunter is reaping. I am able to forge again, just barely scraping by here. Siaka is not in check, which makes me feel pretty good. He did not flip, so I actually am going to be able to look at his discard and know exactly what he's got in his hand. So this is a really good time for my deep probe here. So I'm definitely going Mars. Where do I want to do my 4 damage? Maybe I just put it onto the Calphine. Just make it a little bit less effective. Or I take out the walls so that it can't reap for him. Okay, so I think he has more. So I'm actually going to deep probe first and get rid of Star Alliance. And I want to see what he has in his hand, and then I'm going to decide what to hit with the Mother Gun based on what I see in his hand. So we're getting the Star Alliance. So Kirkhar and Quincan are going into the discard. He's got a Wild Spirit, Song of the Wild, Imprinted Murmuk, and Cauldron Boil. So he probably wants to go Untamed on his next turn. That's all that he's got. So do I take out the Star Alliance creature, or do I take it, put damage onto the Calphine so that it can't do stuff later? I think I want to damage the Calphine because he's just been so effective at fighting down all my creatures with those Brobnar. And I pulled into a bunch of Dis. I like that. I'll be able to put the full moon into the archive. Get all this Dis down, get a steal. Looking like a nice Dis turn coming up next. Siaka's going Untamed, as expected. Unstunning. Mab the Mad playing down the Song of the Wild. Not going to get anything off of that. Imprinted Murmuk comes down, putting him into check. Wild Spirit goes onto the Mog Hunter. And Cauldron Boil is getting discarded. He does not want to hurt his own Brobnar creatures here. So, unfortunately, because of that Murmuk, he's going to be in check even if I steal one with the Schuler. So, do I go Mars and kill this and use the Mind Warper just so I can get him off check? I don't think it's worth it because I'm not moving through the hand and all. And especially with this particular deck, all of my Amber Gen and everything has come from playing cards. It hasn't come from reaping. Hasn't come from having a board. It's come from playing out cards. And I think I need to move through, get more pips, get creatures to try to set up a full moon. I think I have to let him forge here. So we're going Dis. Popping full moon into the archive. Putting Succubus over on this side. Trying to spread out my 2-power creatures so that he can't just take them all out with the Cow Fiend. Ember Imp I don't want in the flank. Alright, hopefully that was a smart setup. I don't know. Arranging the battle line versus these Brobnar creatures is really tough. 3 more Dis in the hand. I like the look of that. Hopefully he doesn't kill off too many of my Dis creatures here. And I'm able to reap up on my next turn, put myself into check. I only need 2 to stay on the board to get to check on my next turn. Star Alliance is the choice for Siaka here. Zap, gonna take care of that Ember Imp. And put some damage onto the Schuler as well. Walls is reaping. Jericho is unstunning. Pulpate comes down to put Jericho into the middle. And Volcano comes down to wipe my board. Oof. That really hurt. That hurt a lot. That really diminished my chances. I'm not going to be able to go into check here after that. And unfortunately, with the Pulpate down, once I choose Dis, it's going to destroy my library. I could go Untamed, but that's not great. I think Dis is better because, again, I'm forcing him to respond to the Ember Imp. I'm controlling his hand a little bit with the Mind Barb. He probably doesn't want to let the Toxin live either. And hopefully I'll draw some more creatures so I can get more value out of the full moon. Bye-bye, library. Let's see what I get with my Mind Barb here. Cauldron Boil. Great. A card that he didn't want anyways. And no more Untamed creatures. Ugh. Man. I did get the Martians Make Bad Allies, so if he doesn't go into check here, I have a chance. If he goes to 7, I have a chance as well. The Ember Imp might help me out here because it's going to force him. It's going to force his play somehow. I don't expect it to live, but at least he has to respond to it. If he doesn't go to 7, I can go Mars, do Martians Make Bad Allies, get 2. If he goes to 7 and doesn't kill my creatures, then I can get 2 and play down the Drumble, but I don't see that happening. He's going Brobnar, destroying his artifact. Barn Raising comes down. Uh-oh. Calfiend's Brew to make Mog Hunter a little bit more powerful. Mog Hunter is fighting the Toxin, taking out the Ember Imp, making me lose 1. And an Imprinted Murmuk comes down, putting Siaka into check at 4 Amber. That is just not fair. Check at 4 Amber. Get out of here. I think that's the game. I don't think I can do anything. I can put down the Snufflegator and do 1 damage with Cooperative Hunting. That's not going to change anything. Not enough to take out either of the Murmuks. I can go Mars. I can do 2 damage with the Mother gun. Is that enough? 1, 2. Oh, I think that's actually enough. That is actually enough to kill off this Mermook. Okay. It keeps me in the game one more turn. I mean, I'm not going to be able to... I don't even get into check. But, keep the game rolling. Let's see what happens. Oh no! The pulpate! Ah! Oh no, the pulpate! I forgot the pulpate made me destroy my own artifact. Well, at least it doesn't matter. That's the game. I have no chance here. Good game, Siaka. Thank you very much once again for the excellent game from Siaka. A very interesting matchup, these two decks. I feel like they're pretty close in power. He definitely had much more board control. I don't think I reaped it all. I'm gonna have to look back and see, but I don't think I reaped that entire game. All of my amber came from playing creatures and playing actions, pretty much. Such minimal amber control in this deck. It's really, really tricky to get anything done with it, with how little amber control there was. The one benefit was that he also didn't have a lot of amber control here, but you know, you can't always rely on that being the case. The double Mermook really came out for Siaka here. What a play. What a great play, getting that second Mermook down and then, oh yeah, I have 4 amber, I'm gonna forge and win the game. What are you gonna do about it? Some burst, some nice burstiness in Untamed here, but really not enough to make up for the complete lack of amber control. So I think I'm gonna call the week and put this one up for sale. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks once again to Siaka for the great game. I've been your host, BrobNar89, and I will see you again next time on Cull the Weak.